So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krikak of State Farm Insurance.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Are you ready to transform your body and your life in just 10 weeks? At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, our kickboxing challenge combines heart-pumping cardio, strength training, and proven nutrition coaching to deliver real results. Lose fat, gain strength, and feel more confident than ever. Spots are limited. Don't wait. Join the next Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 11th and take the first swing towards a healthier, stronger you. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results, not excuses. Join today, fxblincoln.com. That's fxblincoln.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Hey Husker fans, Max 10 is turning up the excitement this season. They're giving away a pair of Husker volleyball tickets, and every time you tan, you're entered to win. Experience the 2025 season tour featuring high-pressure tanning, rejuvenating red light therapy, and flawless spray tanning, all for just $20.25. Look good, feel amazing, and cheer on the Lady Huskers in style. Max 10, take it to the max.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
I love Nebraska Pick 3. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
What if I told you there's now a Nebraska Pick 4?
Say what?
It costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize with drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. What would you say to that?
I love Nebraska Pick 4. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
Thought so. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get us there, Harrison Arns.
There you go. Had the wrong mic for
Get
a
us
second
there, baby. Come on. It's late night in Lincoln and the Ticket Tennis Hour. You know, the room gets better looking when Coach walks in. We get taller. We get a better post up. We get a better first serve.
I used to think I was tall when I started working at the Ticket.
Well, you know, this is the whole thing, bro. Perspective.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We got to get perspective. 402-464-5685. We are live late night. So you can be a part of what we're doing. Hit us up. You can follow on all the video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. If you have not downloaded the Ticket app, do so. Again, it's about that time where we start multi-streaming, and you are going to want that. Oh, look at the blue lights in Lincoln.
Yeah, that's a Ticket coming.
Oh, street, man. What are y'all doing? We're gonna put the fan cam up late night. We also have to put our sign up on the next.
Yeah, we'll
break.
get the sign.
Yeah, we'll have to put our sign up. Let's bring in the coach, Peter Kobelt. What's happening, Coach?
DP, good to see you again, baby. Let's go.
Good to be seen, man. Good to be seen. If you're on the text line, not only tell us you're here, give us your name, bro. We appreciate you being here. He's like, yeah, I'm here. Like, like you got to give us, let us shout you out, man. And then we're gonna put up. Look, they double back. Oh man, what is there an event downtown tonight?
Me and Tristan are trying to figure it out. Is there an emo like punk rock band in town? A lot of goth here.
Oh yeah,
Is there?
No, I saw some last night.
Lots of emo.
Deacon, what's up, man? There we go. It's better. Yeah, leaving last night. So, Coach, you start to get the personality of Lincoln.
Oh yeah.
At 10 o'clock.
Sure.
There's some different priorities.
There you go. I'm sure. Yeah.
Going on. And then here's the thing. Here's what's also going to happen. Coach is going to start to have his eye towards the streets because you got to make sure he don't see none of his players walking downstairs.
No, we got some good guys. I don't, if we give them a weekend off, they'll go and enjoy themselves. But if they were out on the Tuesday night, we would have to be looking. The fingers would have to be pointed back at me at some point.
Oh, I would imagine. So, what are the rules of engagement? So, do you have during the week, deadlines for them to, bedtimes that they have to meet?
Not really. No. If we're traveling and stuff like that, there's like a curfew and different rules they got to abide by on the road. But when they're here, that part of our standard is we're trying to get better every day, so they know if they're up. I always say nothing good happens after midnight, so I think that's a pretty universal phrase. But they know, like, that we got weights at 6 a.m. So if they're going to bed at midnight, they're gonna be tired for that. They're not gonna be ready to go for the day. So I would say most of them are in bed, if not going to bed in the next half an hour or so. So yeah, early mornings for them, long days. They do the weights, they grab something to eat, they come to practice, and then they go straight to class after that. So it's a brutal day for them. But so if they're out, they're learning the hard way. That's for sure.
Do they ever just tell you, "Hey, Coach, listen, I got a concert tonight"? Okay.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't tell me that stuff.
Do you have? And for the radio folks, I'm putting up air quotes. Do you have assistants that end up in the various places around town that kind of let you know whether things are being honored?
Well, I tell them all the time. I got spies everywhere. And my job is to know everything. Yeah. So, we'll leave it at that. But there's Lincoln's a small community, and one of the coolest things about being a Husker is that you're recognized, even if it's just the tennis team. Like, you walk around town and people actually know who you are, and that's also, something that they have. It's a form of accountability, and it works both ways. It's really cool, but it's also a big responsibility. So if they're out, on the town, not doing the right things, like it's gonna make its way back to me or someone in the athletic department eventually. So
It's always interesting, Coach, because we have a ton of athletes and coaches that come in and out of here. And the athletes will tell you in full, and Harrison will vouch for this, they would tell you in full that one of the lesser talked about perks of being a student athlete is that somebody schedules their day for them, that they know where they have to be, when they have to be. They're pretty occupied along the way. And they will call it a perk because they will say to an athlete, I mean, there has not been an athlete that's walked in here, sat down and had their weekly shows that didn't say, yeah, I'm really glad they schedule everything. Because they said coaches forget we're teenagers. And ultimately, sometimes that's there. So then I ask you this, kind sir, is that on purpose? Is it on purpose to schedule enough? Like those early morning workouts, the story, my coach used to say, oh, if you think I'm going to wait till 7 o'clock to get you out of bed, you have lost your minds. So if I give you this, and we had a 5:30 wake up every single year that I was in school. 5:30 wake up, didn't matter in season or not, and you could go back to bed if you wanted, like if you didn't have a workout or study hall or something, but you got up, and he was in that space. So, Coach, talk to us. Is there any method to the madness?
I wish there was, but honestly, it has a lot to do with their school schedules, and a big part of our program is getting the guys out to practice all together, making sure they're going to weights together. I think that's how where you really build great team chemistry. I think you can do some of that off the court with some doing some some fun stuff together off the court. But I think a lot of that happens when you're together going through the tough moments, whether it's 6 a.m. at the gym or 8 a.m. practice after your legs are heavy coming to practice, and you got to deal with me. But so a lot of it is just based on their school schedule. But I personally myself, I don't know if I'm a late night owl or a morning person. I don't know if I've figured that part out, but I do enjoy when you do wake up. I do enjoy there's like a half an hour or an hour of time where no one's quite awake yet, and you don't really have to do anything other than just be with yourself. And it's really peaceful. You don't really get that time at night, as it's not as peaceful at night. There's still things going on, but in the morning, I feel like you get this little pocket of time where you can kind of reflect and really dial in what you want to do that day. So I think that's probably the number one benefit of it. But there's no madness. The tennis team, our guys are pretty well behaved and motivated, and it's really just based around their class schedule, unfortunately. So
he says unfortunately, but I still am leaning heavily in this space. It's Huskers men's tennis head coach Peter Kobelt, and I'm always intrigued by the coach's schedule. So when I asked the question, I asked you earlier, I'm like, hey, can you do the 10 o'clock show? And you said quickly yes. And because I was like, oh man, he's got stuff to do. He's got a life. Like, this is what we do. Harris and I are weirdos. But then I thought about it this way, because I got an email from Herman. He's like, we need to get in the game. I'm like, okay, Mondays at 10, we can do this. We can line it up. Harvell and gymnastics and trying to get bowling and trying to get folks in the door. And you said yes. So tell me, you talked about that time to yourself. What's your day like? Like when does it begin and when does it end, and in between?
It begins when it begins and it ends when it ends.
So you have to be, so are you there? How much earlier than the players are you there?
Sometimes it's, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on what's going on in the morning beforehand, what I have going on. Sometimes it's an hour and a half early if we have practice at 8. Sometimes I'm there at 6:37. But the guys will tell you our practices are they don't change a ton from day to day, but a lot of the stuff we do are, we do the same kind of drills, and we staff talks the night before, we get the injury report in the morning, make sure everyone's good to go, and once we have that, we kind of have our plan already set for practice. So there's not a lot of variability with everything, so it's pretty simple for us. But some mornings are different. Tomorrow morning we got a big recruiting call first thing in the morning, so we'll be in there early for that, and then organizing a few things that we have going on. We're gonna do a few, maybe something fun with the guys on Saturday after practice before the game. So just trying to get a few things organized. If we don't have much to organize, we talk about it the night before. And like I said, if the injury report's good in the morning from the trainer, then we'll be there half an hour early, make sure everything's ready to go, and then we'll go. So
do you get together for Husker volleyball versus Penn State? Do you get together for Husker football versus Sparty? What do you guys do?
Yeah, we always do a score prediction, and we always put a wager on it, whether it's a bike ride or a sprint or something like that. Put some fun on it, but what, all the guys, we kind of let the guys do their thing for the games. Then I know they go to the volleyball games and support them. They try and get around to all the sports a little bit to support everybody. But I know the football games are obviously a lot of fun. They like going to those, and then volleyball's right up there with them. I don't know, they're unbelievable right now. It's just like,
do you get the reciprocal effect? Do they come see you?
They do. I would say they do a pretty good job. Some of the sports come out a good amount. Some of them don't come out quite as much, but usually we see, someone from every sport come by, at least for a match or two, which is great, and obviously I think some of that comes back on us. We gotta be a show worth coming to. So that's the goal. And hopefully, the goal is to be like the volleyball team, to be like the football team, be the hottest ticket in town, and try and get people to come out and be like, hey, like Husker tennis is playing tomorrow night. You going? So I don't know if those are the conversations happening quite yet, and that's the responsibility that's been put on my shoulders. So we're working our way there, but yeah, overall the athletic department, the fellow student athletes, coaches, they're all super supportive, and they all want everyone to do well, and they all like to come out and support the other programs, including men's tennis.
Harrison, you were talking to Jalen, and you talked about kind of the vibe, like the current vibe. Give Coach a little bit of your conversation about kind of the mood and the vibe, the momentum of the athletic program.
The waters are rising. We were talking about it, and just with all fall sports, then obviously we're looking forward to the spring as well. And as we were talking about this Tuesdays, knowing that we got the wrestlers, even though it was me and Tristan today talking wrestling, it just kind of feels like the tides are rising throughout the entire athletic department. And, and it's not just all Troy Dannon, it's the coaches meeting the challenge as well. I know the first time I talked to you, you had that conversation with Dannon about, the expectations, and you kind of putting yourself out there about what you want this program to be. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like there is this surgence in the entire athletic department where it's a competitiveness, but it's a good competitiveness, where volleyball wants to be the number one ticket. Football wants to be the number one ticket. You're trying to make tennis the number one ticket, but you guys are all still rooting for each other.
For sure. 100%. That's what we are. That's what we're competitors. Our job is to be the very best we can be. We want to be the number one program in the athletic department. I think that's got to be the mindset of every head coach. If you're trying to be the number one, player in the NFL, you can't. You're not going to get there if you don't have this almost oblivious confidence that you can do it. So yeah, that's my mentality for sure. Whether we get there or not is to be determined. But that's every day I wake up. We're going to be the hardest working team in the athletic department. We're going to be the toughest team in the athletic department, and we're going to, and the goal is to win more than everybody. And that's the mentality of everybody. And, we had a head coaches meeting today, and all the coaches in there are amazing. The programs the success that all these programs are having are amazing. For me, it's like I wake up and I'm like, oh, like I got to get going. Like we got to do better. How are we gonna get close to some of these programs and teams? It's gonna take time, but you're not gonna get there with the mentality that of being average. You got to go and really reach for the stars, shoot for the moon, whatever you want to say. But Jalen's right. I mean, the volleyball team is doing an amazing job of carrying the flag right now, and it's my job as the head coach of the men's program to try and emulate a lot of what they're doing and seeing if we can do something better one day.
Yeah, I mean, is it possible? Is it possible? Or and I guess maybe the more fair question would be, what would it take to match that top level? You know, getting in that top 10, top 5 conversation. What would it take? What do you think it would take?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to get that far ahead of things. If we can just get better one day at a time. And then DP, you're a former coach. You understand the coaching talk, but that's really what it's all about. I think if you can just take incremental steps each and every single day, and you can see the progression of the team, and you can see them getting better, and you start to recruit better players. Your ranking starts to go up. It allows you to recruit a different type of player and get different players here on campus, and you just get the ball rolling, and the snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and before you know it, you got something that you can't really be stopped. And then, so I don't know if it's something that, obviously I'm a young head coach. I've been a part of programs that have been ultra successful, so I think I have the right blueprint. But I think it just takes time, and it takes you can only do your very best with what you got that day. So let's do that, and then we'll worry about where everything goes later. But if I'm willing to do anything and everything for the Nebraska men's tennis team, and that's the mentality I got to bring to practice every day, so our players get that same vibe. I always tell people when they ask, how you motivate them, how do you talk to them, and I'm like, look, everyone in the world can talk to a player and say the right things, but they got to feel you. They got to feel your energy. They got to when you speak to them, it's got to resonate with them. So I think you just understanding, buying into all the other programs, really understanding what they're all about. I think once you really grasp everything that Lincoln is, that the university is, that message that you send to the players is even more powerful. And I think, for me, that's a really big part of having success, is getting your players to feel you and to really understand what the vibes are and how we're going to do this. And I think that's what we're doing a pretty good job of right now with our program. So
it's always interesting, because depending on the sport and the level of the sport, there's some of the conversation that players make the coach, and that the coach makes the player, right? That's why the coach makes the most money, or used to, But it's chicken or egg. Can you build a program? Does talent have to lead, or can it just be the work? What's the chicken? What's the egg?
I have a saying, and I believe that coaching is about 5% of a player's career. The player has to wake up every day and decide they want to do everything. So 95% of it rests on the player's shoulders, 5% rests on the coach's shoulders, in my opinion. When everything's going right, it's all about your staff and the players. When everything's going wrong, it all falls back on me, and that's great. That's the way we want it. But I think to have a successful program is different than having a successful team. One year, I think a lot of people can have 1 year where they have a good team, but I think it's really hard to have a successful program. And I think in order to have a successful program, you have to have the right work ethic, and you have to have the right standards, and you have to be working towards all that every single day, and I think adding the right players on top of that is what really elevates you as a program and gives you a chance to play for titles. But I think having a program that's sustainable, that's built on the right fundamentals, that has the highest standards, that gets every ounce of energy and every inch that the team has that day, that's how you build a sustainable program. And then the players are just what elevated, in my opinion. So
through all of it, we try to get through They were talking. I remember Fred Hoiberg was talking about it and just trying to figure out how to move points. And Matt Rule talked about chasing three. And in the various sports, they have the different. As Al Pacino said in Any Given Sunday, it's a game of inches, and you're just seeking all those inches. Tennis is not dissimilar from that you're really just trying to close the gap bit by bit, day by day, effort by effort, drill by drill, skill by skill.
100%.
Right? And it becomes like I find it crazily frustrating because I know how much you put into it. I could see it in what you put into it and that you care. A lot of coaches can distance themselves from caring about how this thing really goes, right? Because you want to be able to impact the whole thing immediately every day. But I would imagine that it is just an accumulation of small gains.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's kind of hard to put into words, but I talked to the guys yesterday about halfway through practice. They had a really good practice, and I said, "Look, we're going to turn it up a notch here at the end of practice, and I want to see who's going to compete the hardest here. Like, I want to see who's going to step up at the end of this practice when you just got out of the gym, you squatted this morning, your legs are tired, we just ran you around for an hour and a half. Who's going to bust it for the next 30, 45 minutes here?" And I said, "Look, guys, how many matches did we just barely lose last year? How many, were there any teams that just blew us off the court last year?" And, there were none. So I'm like, it all comes back to this right now, on a random Tuesday or random Monday in the fall that you're far away from the competition in January, but this is where you can take a huge step mentally, physically, and you can start to truly believe and change I think you got to change the chemistry of their minds almost where like, hey, like if I keep pushing through this day after day after day, you start to create a monster inside those guys, and you get to those big moments in the match and they're just like, nah, like I'm not losing it. I'm just built different than this guy in front of me. I'm not losing this match. So those are kind of the small little intricacy, like details that we kind of hone in on every day. And it's not always about what you're doing technically or tactically. It has a lot about your mindset and are you willing to go a little bit further than you did the day before, whether it's mentally or physically. Sometimes it's both, but I think if you can get all, we have a roster of 8 right now. If we can get all of eight of those guys to buy in like that, I mean, I wouldn't want to play us come in January. That's for darn sure.
Well, you've talked about that toughness is at the top of the pyramid of things that will determine success.
Yeah.
Tennis is no different. It maybe even more so.
Yeah. I mean, it's an extremely physical game. For people that don't know a ton about tennis, I mean, it's just you out there. You can't sub in, you can't sub out. If you're sick, you got to play through. If you're injured, you got to play through. If you start to cramp, you can't take an injury timeout. That's against the rules. Like it's just you, and you got to manage the match. You got to manage the nerves. You got to do all. It's all on you out there. So, it's tough. It's a hard sport. There's no clock. You got to win the last point. It's not over until that ball double bounces on the last point, and the ref says the score. Man, it's the way it is. So it's an extremely tough sport. I don't think it gets the credit it deserves, especially here in the States. But it's an amazing game, and it really truly reveals the character of you. It really shows who you are from the inside out, and I think it gives our guys a good glimpse of where they really need to improve, and where maybe they're like, I should improve here, I should improve there. But I'm like, hey, look, tennis will show you where you really need to improve. Just pay attention to what it's telling you.
All the skills, all the endurance, all the mental toughness, getting through all the small injuries. Because I'm not sure. I think wrestling and then tennis are the ones that you feel every injury.
Sure. Well, I just want to be clear. I don't want any part of wrestling.
Oh no! Listen.
I'm too tall. I'm gangly arms here. Those guys would.
They're not human.
They're insane. Those guys are beasts, man.
I need for you to come by on a Wednesday during the day and hang out with Anthony. Lionheart Smith.
Let's do it.
Like, he's here from 11 to 1 tomorrow. He'll be here tomorrow. And I talk about wrestlers being barely human. UFC fighters.
That's a whole nother level, huh?
We don't. You are a long tennis player.
Mm-hmm.
He is a massive human being.
Yeah, I mean, yep.
He is a massive human being. So I need to get you two together again because I just think it's fascinating. Anthony's a different kind of dude. I think toughness is the way. We'll toward the break. When we come back, I'm going to ask Coach. They just had some action last week, and there's a lot going on around the program. And then there's a pro event in October. We need to talk about that as well. We'll do all that when we come back to The Ticket with Peter Kobelt.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe. And is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Hey Husker fans, Max 10 is turning up the excitement this season. They're giving away a pair of Husker volleyball tickets, and every time you tan, you're entered to win. Experience the 2025 season tour featuring high-pressure tanning, rejuvenating red light therapy, and flawless spray tanning, all for just $20.25. Look good, feel amazing, and cheer on the Lady Huskers in style. Max Tan. Take it to the max.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
I love Nebraska Pick 3. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
What if I told you there's now a Nebraska Pick 4?
Say what?
It costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize with drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. What would you say to that?
I love Nebraska Pick 4. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
Thought so. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Husker tennis coach Peter Kobelt in the building once again, and we appreciate him making time for us and y'all. And we see y'all out there, so it's good to know that y'all are hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. Coach, this is the time of year you're getting folks reacclimated, and then you get some work in. What are you trying to see at the end of September, beginning of October from your guys? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I think we're looking for guys to start grasping onto the standard and what we're trying to do. We're looking for guys to start making little jumps in their level and start to get some confidence with the physical part of the game, with the mental part of the game, starting to get into some really good shape, start to handle some of these longer, more physical practices. We're just looking for the guys to start making some small incremental jumps inside of their game. You can see it, you can see it as a coach, but when you can see that they see it, that's when you know you got something going. And we're starting to see that with a couple of our guys. Some of our older guys are starting to take a jump too. Some of the guys that we're going to have to rely on a lot this spring, which has been great. This week has been a really good week of practice in regards to all of that. So, it was the first part of the fall is never easy. I always say to the guys, we're never going to be a program that's going to try and win the fall. We're going to try and win in the spring. And in the fall, for me, it's when you get a real chance to set the standards. I keep saying the same thing, but set the standards, get the guys physically and mentally ready for what's coming. And, the tournaments that we play are all they're going to happen the way they happen. But, we're going to be a program that's built on winning in January through May. So
the focus for fall is really playbook, like the physical playbook. Knowing, okay, your conditioning, whatever you're doing isn't working, you get in better shape. It doesn't matter boom and serve if you can't return serve. Yeah, all the boxes have to be checked. But this time of year when there's no payoff, how do you get the guys to just stay connected? Because if you don't get the payoff, I've heard tennis players talk about that these matches, even tournament matches in the fall, mean the world to them because it actually gives them a chance to test themselves out of the vacuum that they've been practicing, to see something that they haven't been able to see, and then to have game speed.
Sure. So
is there difference?
Yeah, of course. I mean, part of it all is I want our guys, when they walk into the building every day, I want them to be a little bit nervous for what's going to happen that day.
Harrison, did you see his facial expression change when he said that? Like oh man, he went to the dark place.
I don't want them to walk in the building and think, hey, like, you know, all right, this, you know, whatever, this
Piece
practice.
of cake.
I want them to be I want them to be on edge when they walk in the facility. I want them to be on edge when they walk past my office. But at the same time, I want that 2.5 hours that we spend together on the court to be their most fun time of the day as well, too. So trying to find the right balance. For me, I think that's kind of what the culture of our program is going to be. But yeah, a lot of it comes down to me. And you know, I do a pretty good job, in my opinion, of reading the energy in the room, and I can tell basically right away if I don't get involved what kind of practice we're gonna have. So if I tell the guys, I was like, look, if you guys come out and handle your business, I won't get involved. But if you don't, like, you're gonna hear me and you're gonna see me, and I'm gonna, you know, and you're gonna learn the hard way. But because we got no choice but to get better today. So yeah, I mean, you know, we're gonna get some of the guys down here so you guys can talk to them, but I'm sure they would would say the same thing.
No, we're gonna have different conversations with them. 100% different conversations with them. It's the difference in player and coach. You wouldn't even think they're talking about the same sports. Like it's a different world.
Sure.
How much do you spend more? I guess maybe the tougher part of this, the personal stuff, the talent stuff, or the academic stuff? What's really the toughest thing to manage as a head coach in a Division I program?
I think it's more just it's a little different from player to player, but I think it's more the personal stuff. I think, you know, our guys do a great job with the academics. You know, we've won that GPA award 3 out of the last 5 years. Our guys buy into the academics. They take advantage of all the resources there. The technical part and the talent part, you know, we have really good players that are very talented. You know, everyone can get better. But I think when it comes down to really maximizing them and getting the most out of them, you got to connect to them on a personal level. They gotta really understand that you care about them, not just on the court but off the court. You gotta when you are on the court, they gotta really see the level of care and desire that comes out of me, and understanding, like, hey, like, you guys just, you know, had a kick-ass practice today, like, great job, or, like, you know, things got to be a little bit better, and then you got to really explain to them why and what we need to see tomorrow. So you know, today's practice, a few of the older guys, they did good. You know, it was a good practice, but it wasn't like that real inspiring practice that you'd want to see for, you know, I always say, hey, it's a random Tuesday in the fall. Like, you know, what kind of energy are you going to bring on, you know, on a random Tuesday in the fall when we're not going to win or lose a match for, you know, the next 3 months, 4 months. So I challenged the guys tomorrow. I said, look, tomorrow's not going to be as long of a practice, but I want to see who's going to come out, who's going to bring the energy, or else you're going to have to leave it up to me. So
do you let them go live and just work it out?
Yeah.
Just let them play, switch up the matchups, you know, put friend against friend and foe against foe, and just let them slug it out.
Yeah, we let them compete all the time. I think that's a big part of it. I think there has to be some conflict. There has to be some iron sharpens iron stuff. You know, like they've got to compete against each other. And I'm like, look, guys, like if someone's not doing it the right way, you got to address it. If they don't like you for a week, then so be it. You know, that's the way it is. Like, and once they do it for the first time and it happens, that, you know, they understand. But yeah, you gotta find different ways to create, you know, not hostile environments, but uncomfortable environments for them every day, where they feel like they're coming to practice and they don't know what's going to happen. But they know they got to bring it, or else we're not going to get better. So I think that's the art of coaching. I think that's the art of maximizing your players, is figuring out how to motivate them every day, how to get them to give their very best. Sometimes you got to be. I think the ratio is 30% humor, 70% authority.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you got to have a little bit of both, so that they got to laugh. and they gotta see that you have a sense of humor, and that I think that's a really, really big part of it. But they also need to know, like, hey, like, yeah, I got to do this. I'm not gonna get anything past that guy. So like, I got to really buy in and do this. So
when you choose leadership captains, what are you looking for? What are those things? What are the boxes that have to be checked?
yeah, it's just like the middleman between the team and the coaching staff. They got to represent all the values. They got to be able to have the hard conversations. They've got to be able to, after a tough practice, they've got to be able to, if one of the guys that's struggling, they've got to put their arm around the guy and say, hey, look, like, this is all part of it. Like, we've been through this. They've got to do that. They've got to keep the team together on and off the court. But ultimately they have to hold the standard every day when they come to practice themselves. I always say you have to lead by example first. And that gives you the ability to lead by what you say second. I don't think you can do it in reverse order. So, I think we're gonna, we don't vote for captains until the end of the fall. And I tell them, I'm like, look, you guys, the guys that were captains last year, all of them but one are gone. This is a brand new team, and if you want to be a captain, you have to earn it, and your team has to vote you. Ultimately, the coaching staff will have the last say in it, but you guys are all going to vote, and you're going to decide who's going to really lead the 2025-2026 Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Have you ever had to override the team?
No, but there's times where we'll go from having 2 captains to 3 captains if there's some close votes. That's what happened last year. I think they're also still learning exactly. I think last year there were some bigger personalities on the team, and they voted for maybe some of those guys that they liked the most.
Popularity contest happened.
Most popular, yeah, exactly. But I think this year they actually understand, after going through a year and having success and understanding like how hard it was and how hard you need to work for us to take another jump. I think the captains, the way they vote for captains, will be different this year. That's my opinion. We'll see.
And that's a step forward.
100%.
Like, that's a step up.
That's how you know your program's changing. That's how you know the program's going in the right direction. That's how all those things you see every day, the leadership from the guys, all those little small things. And I know Coach Rule gets on and talks about that stuff all the time. He has a team that gets it now, and he doesn't have to coach them like he did when he first got here. Like, those are massive things for a sustainable program. You can bring in just about anyone, and they're gonna, if they're either gonna fit in straight away, or they're gonna stick out like a sore thumb, and they're gonna they better fit in right away. So I think that's how you develop a program, and how you build success and sustainable success for years and years and years to come. So when new players do come in, it's like, hey, boom, from the first day, this is how we do things, man. Get on board.
How do you handle situation? So in football, basketball, you can do situational awareness in drills in full. So they talk about 2-minute warning drills and getting off the field, getting squads getting a field goal team on the field, and you practice those situations. What is that for tennis?
Yeah. So there's no substitutions. There's no flipping guys. I think that'd be a cool rule to introduce
for one serve.
Yeah. I mean, hey, they do it in just about every sport. I mean, in baseball, they come in, there's a new pitcher that closes the game out. You see it in basketball, football, softball, baseball. You can bring in, volleyball, you name the sport. And tennis is just, I think that might make tennis, add a little wrinkle to it. And because I think people understand timeouts and they understand substitutions. They don't always necessarily understand tennis when they come and watch it for the first time. But I think, I don't know where I'm going with this. What was the question again?
Well, I think the situational training.
Sure. Okay.
And trying to identify what those are. I mean, are you getting, match point service, match point receiving, ball tracking, and being very specific about situation.
Sure.
How do you handle that in tennis?
So it's part of our training and how we do things. I'm a big believer that if it's not going to work under pressure, then it's not worth practicing or spending any meaningful time on. So what we practice are things that are going to hold up under pressure. Under pressure, you have to be extremely fit and tough, because that's you got to be able to win a match at when the 3.5, 4 hours into the match. You have to be able to be fit enough to get to the ball and swing at it. You've got to, and then I always ask the guys, I was like, do you actually know how to make a forehand? Like, do you actually know like what you're doing to the ball and where and actually how to hit it? Same. And I was like, do you know how to do that for every shot? Or is it more like a feeling and you're like, like some days it's good, some days it's bad? I was like, that's not going to work under pressure. So we got to like really break this down, and you have to actually understand what you're doing on the court. And I think once you do, it'll unlock you. And if you're physically fit and you trust your game and you actually know how to make that shot, as opposed to think, or I'm 95% sure. Like, you need to be 100% sure you know how to execute that shot, or else it's when the pressure comes, that's when the tennis match is decided by 4, 5, 6 points every match, and you have to be able to play the right way in those 4, 5, 6 points if you want to be worth a darn in our sport. So
yeah, finding those points. I now fascinated. Harrison, we're going to practice.
All right,
we're going to practice.
Yeah,
you're gonna get out. I'm gonna put you out there. Just to see.
Come on out, man. We'd love to have you out.
No, we're gonna do this. The coverage needs to happen. Well, toward the break, Peter Kobelt here in studio. We'll close out with the coach when we come back to the ticket.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Do you want boots that actually feel good on your feet? Meindl delivers premium German-engineered comfort, brought to you right here from Nebraska. Built tough for trails, fields, and everyday wear, and backed by Meindl's Comfort Promise, so you can try them on with confidence. Use promo code THETICKET at MeindlUSA.com, spelled MEINDL, for free shipping. That's MeindlUSA.com. Meindl, comfort you have to feel to believe.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm, safe, and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
I love Nebraska Pick 3. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
What if I told you there's now a Nebraska Pick 4?
Say what?
It costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize with drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. What would you say to that?
I love Nebraska Pick 4. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
Thought so. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Poor Peter Kobelt is going to get introduced to our late night rabbit holes that we go down. we have perfected going down sports rabbit holes.
Love it.
And there is no method to it. It's just madness.
It's just madness.
We spent last night. Is it Yoel Romero?
Yeah, it is him.
What a great pull, DP.
That was a good pull. I thought you were wrong. No, that is who it is.
Boy, like I can't remember what I had for dinner tonight, but I can tell you some dude that fought in the UFC in 2011.
Crazy.
I have no idea. Before we close this out, I have to. So last night he and I went down the rabbit hole, and I asked him if he was familiar. So Saturday morning cartoons back in the day.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
That Schoolhouse Rock and, the whole thing. And I mentioned a show to him that he had, and it happens often. The age gap shows up. And
Sure.
I'm just like, hey, did you watch this show? And his answer was no. And I was offended. Because I thought, middle of the country, Nebraska, you absolutely were watching. There were 3 channels.
There's no shot. I guarantee you he hears this and he's like, no, what are we talking about?
Oh, I'm willing to bet that he doesn't know this.
Okay.
Oh, come on now.
I feel like this is only your DC cable.
I'm older than Harris.
Yes.
Don't count me out yet.
Okay, so I'm going to throw the teaser first. Are you familiar with the banana splits?
The banana splits. Is that is that a baseball? Are those? Is that
No.
So never mind.
Yeah, it's okay. You had to set the standard. So there was a thing Saturday mornings back in the 70s, Hanna-Barbera. So there's a company that created these Saturday morning shows. And if you look back on them, these shows were trash. They don't travel well.
Sure.
They don't make it to 2025 and you go, man, that was some good television. No, it was trash. It was so there was a show called HR Puffin Stuff.
Never heard of it.
And Harrison had not heard of it. And then I started to think, somebody said to me earlier that, no, you were on the East Coast. Maybe that was it, that the East Coast got it. I was like, no, it's just me. We're old. Like, I have to accept that. So if I said Saturday morning television, what comes to mind for you?
Football.
See, you guys are both young enough that you never grew up without game day.
No, it was always because that was before school. My dad would be there watching ESPN before he got out on the farm. So we'd watch it when ESPN was like at its peak, in my opinion, in the morning shows.
I grew up in a time where ESPN didn't exist. It didn't exist. Cable TV didn't exist. The internet didn't exist. I'm just telling you that America was built by people who weren't connected. And they certainly not. Like, I watched to what, but I was also raised in a time where tennis was on every weekend on the network.
Yeah.
Every single Saturday, Sunday, where tennis was being played somewhere in the world, it was on like CBS. And you got full tournaments on CBS or NBC, right? And so there's a voice that comes to mind. I will ask you your opinion. But Bud Collins is a broadcast guy to me.
Okay.
Does that tell you the age that I'm really?
Well, he's a legend.
Yeah. Okay. So now, if you could do the perfect broadcast booth, who are the best teachers of tennis?
Oh man.
I mean, some would say McEnroe, some would say Chrissy Evers, some would say Martina. Pam Shriver has evolved. Mary Jo Fernandez has evolved. Who breaks it down? Who do you want to hear? Oh, so take the two best players in the world. Who do you want telling you what's happening?
To be honest, like, I don't think tennis does it that great. I
do not disagree.
I don't know if they have the, I'd be great if there was like a Tom Brady that would go in there and I don't know how football fans view Tom Brady, but if Tom Brady,
Agassi said
Agassi would be amazing. I know there's some former players getting more into it now, which I think is great. I think everyone wants to hear the mind of a former player or a recent former player more so than
McEnroe.
McEnroe, I think does a pretty good job. I think he's a big character, and I think he draws a lot of people to the broadcast just because of his personality and all the shenanigans that he brought along with him, along with being an amazing player too.
Yeah.
But I think tennis could do a better job of making it more of a fun environment for the viewers, in my personal opinion.
What's the better game, men's or women's pro tennis?
For
spectators.
For spectators,
yeah.
I mean, I would, if you're just trying to watch tennis, I think the men's games. If you're going to watch the physicality, the level, the movement, the ball speed, all of it is just a different level than the women's game.
And then who are the better shot makers
right now?
Yeah.
I mean, Carlos Alcaraz is maybe the best shot maker tennis has ever seen. So if him, you have a lot of guys that are talented, but if you ever have the chance to watch a Novak Djokovic, you got to do that before he's done. I think his window's closing here soon. And Jannik Sinner's an amazing ball striker, but Alcaraz is just lightning in a bottle, man. That guy is the most entertaining tennis player, the best, the most talented. He's got the highest potential. He's already, I don't know how many Grand Slams he's won already at the age of 22. Like, it's insane. Like, the guy's amazing. So if he can stay healthy, which is the true testament to being successful in our sport, he'll have a chance to be finishing up where Djokovic is right now, Grand Slam wise. But we'll see. He wants to do all that stuff.
The next great. Why is that child up at 11 o'clock? What are we doing? What are we? Lincoln,
more black. I'm telling you, there
Lincoln,
is like there's something going on today.
What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, Coach. Thank you, kind sir. Appreciate you breaking it down for us, and then we'll see you next week. We got lots to talk about.
Let's go, DP.
We got lots to talk about. And tell Herman, I haven't forgotten.
Let's go.
Yeah, his time is coming. That'll be it for this hour. We're about to go all the way down the rabbit hole. I don't know, Coach, if you want to hang out and just go crazy, this is what the next hour, there are no rules.
I mean,
there are no rules. You got to be up at 6:30, Mark. 6 o'clock. You got to be. You have a recruiting call. I do not want to be accountable for you not being on your P's and Q's for that.
That's true. I better go.
Yeah, because we would have you, and I'm telling you, because your brain wouldn't turn off to about 3 a.m.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Hey.
I need to get some sleep.
There we go, brother. Appreciate you, man. Don't go anywhere. Late night in Lincoln coming up.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.